The Farm. I'm your host, Larry Marble. Thanks so much for joining us today on one of our 14 affiliate stations. We're brought to you proudly each and every day by D&D Farm and Ranch. That's ddtexasoutfitters.com. Neighbor, let's take a look at corn, beans, and wheat. Corn futures stayed in a tighter range yesterday, with March working between less 4.5 to plus 2.5 cents. At the close, the front month futures were 1 3/4 lower. Front month soybean futures ended the session with 8 3/4 to 13.25 cent losses. Jan beans printed a 20.5 cent range on the day. Meal prices closed with $3.80 to $4.40 per ton in losses. Front month KC wheat printed a 12-cent range from -3 to +9 cents on Thursday. The board ended mid-range on a 2 to 3.5 cent front month gain. March cotton dropped by over 3 cents from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central. March was lock limit lower by 11:30. For a week-to-date figure, that only limited the bounce as prices are still net 238 points higher. Neighbor, there's a look at corn, beans, wheat, and cotton. I'm down on the farm's Larry Marble here at the kitchen table with my friend R.D. from D&D Farm and Ranch. R.D., I need a squeeze chute, and I understand you can hook me up.
We've had too many squeeze chutes on the lot right now, and we're running out of place to store them. So we're marking them down for any listener who mentions this ad can save up to $1,000 off any chutes in stock while supplies last. The brands we're currently stocking are WW, Preefert, Carter, and our own D&D Maverick chute.
Give us a telephone number to get a hold of you, R.D.
Telephone number out here is 830-379-7340. My personal extension you can reach me at is 161. We'll make sure to get you taken care of on these.
Neighbor, let's take a look at meat moves from yesterday. We'll begin with lean hogs and the National Pork Carcass Cutout Value. Thursday afternoon was $6.31 higher at $88.76. The bellies were quoted at $17.18 higher at $99.92. Estimated federal slaughter for hogs, 1.677 million head through Thursday. That's down from the 259,000 head last week's pace, and it's down by 202,000 head from the same week last year. Neighbor, as we move toward the beef side of the meat equation, we'll see that wholesale boxes for Thursday afternoon, 35 higher in the choice, 552 stronger in the select. The choice select spread tightened to 23.40. Estimated federal slaughter for the week, 459,000 head. That is down by 27,000 head from last week, and it's running 19,000 head below last week's pace. As we look toward southern trade, looks like we saw activity Thursday at 155, and the northern trade was 157. The week's FCE online auction showed no trade. 153 was the bid, 156.50 to 157 the ask. Neighbor, there's your meat move. Neighbor, now it's time for Tom Nicoletti and today's edition of Focus on Ag. Tom, what's our topic?
Extending application deadline for the 2023 Dairy Safety Net programs. I'm Tom Nicoletti with Focus on Agriculture on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. The U.S. Department of Agriculture recently announced that dairy producers will have more time to enroll for either dairy margin coverage or supplemental DMC for next year. Rod Bain reports.
Dairy producers will now have more time to consider enrollment in either USDA's dairy margin coverage or supplemental dairy margin coverage for program year 2023. According to Farm Service Agency Administrator Zach Ducheneau,
we're going to extend the deadline to give our producers time to get through year-end activities and to ensure that they're able to take advantage of this affordable margin coverage.
Producers now have until January 31st to enroll in either of these dairy safety net programs. The administrator explains the purpose of DMC and supplemental DMC.
The dairy margin coverage program and supplemental DMC allow producers to, for a nominal administrative fee, have a coverage product that will help pay the difference between the cost of inputs and the price of production.
And according to Administrator Ducheneau, early projections indicate DMC will trigger for the first 8 months of next year.
Last year, nearly 18,000 operations that enrolled in DMC received margin payments for August and September, totaling $76 million. They were able to purchase that coverage for 15 cents per hundredweight on their milk. We've got a decision tool on our website that helps producers see the economic benefit of these margin programs.
More information is available at local FSA service centers. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
I'm Tom Nicoletti, and this is the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
We're on the line with Joshua Garcia. He's from Karn City Auction, LLC. How did the sale go this last time, Joshua?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Larry, it was a little bit cooler than normal. That temperature with that wind, it sure did drop Friday night, Saturday morning. It was pretty cool. We had a total of 374 head of cattle and 151 sheep and goat. Tell you what, quality was amazing, and the buyers did notice it, and also the market report shows it as well.
Good. Walk the pins with us, please.
On Packer cows and bulls, number one cow 64 to 75, number two 45 to 62, bulls 82 to 85. Didn't have very many high yielding bulls in that count. Stocker cows, I think I had a few of them, 750 to $1,000. As for your feeder steers and heifers, steers 2 to 3 weights, 161 to 220, 3 to 4s 178 to 258, 4 to 500 pounders 178 to 231, 5 to 600 pounders 165 to 201, 6 to 700 pounders 157 to $1.75. On the 700 plus pound steers 133 to 151. As we go to the heifer side of things, 2 to 3 weights 145 to $2, 3 to 4s 165 to 210, 4 to 5s 158 to 210, 5 to 600 pound heifers 144 to $1.77, 6 to 700 pound heifers 140 to 156, 700 plus pound heifers 122 to 138. Tell you what, quality was amazing. It was real good over the whole sale, and we do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and tell everybody thank you for believing in us, and me and Shelby and myself, and we can't thank y'all enough. So with that being said, we look forward to having a good run starting in 2023.
And give us the phone number, please.
You can catch me on my mobile at 361-649-4578, or catch us here at the office at 830-780-3382. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
We are on the line with Phil Brockenbush from Giddings Livestock. Had one of the last sales in the country this week. Phil, how was it?
It was good, Larry. We wound up with 1142, had 58 buyers and 227 sellers on a higher cow and bull market, and the calf market was steady, so it was good.
Good. Walk the pins with us, please.
All right, your steers 300 and back average 185, brought up to 247 and a half. 3 to 4 weights 201 to 247 and a half. 4 to 5 weights 179 to 227 and a half. 5 to 6 weights 163 to 210. 6 to 7 weights 145 to 192 and a half. 7 to 8 weights 130 to 161. Your heifer mates 300 and back average 176, brought up to 230. 3 to 4 weights 179 to 245. 4 to 5 weights 164 to 217 and a half. 5 to 6 weights 154 to 205. 6 to 7 weights 149 to 177 and a half. Your bull yearlings 7 to 850 pounds, $1 to $1.61. 850 to 1,000 pounds, $1.05 to $1.21. High yielding bulls 95 to 104. Medium yielding bulls 75 to 88. High yielding cows 78 to 84. Medium yielding cows 45 to 55. Your little thin cows 20 to 40. Sold a few bred cows, brought up to 13 and a quarter, and the pairs brought up to 1,200. There wasn't a whole lot to pick from.
Right.
It was good.
Good
cow deal.
Good deal. Well, it sounds like you had a good sale. How many noses did you count?
1142.
Good. Well, when do y'all come back, Phil?
We'll come back on January the 9th.
All right. Well,
we'd like to thank everybody. It's been a good year. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good. Same to y'all, and we'll talk with you when you get back. Good luck hunting. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Oh, you can call me at 979-716-4395 or call the barn at 979-542-2274.
I'm Larry Marble from down on the farm, and we're on the line with Brandon DeBose from DeBose Pipe, Panel, and Gate. This what year they start?
Man, they started in 1976. Grandfather started this business, backyard in Lomita, Texas.
Brandon, describe your product line and services provided.
Yes, sir. We do entrances. We sell pipe. We sell livestock gates, pasture gates, heavy-duty corral gates. You know, any kind of gates you'd really need out there on your farm, your pasture, whatever it is.
The phrase that y'all use within the commercial is wholesale to the public.
We're under competitors' retail prices, and our panels are the first and only to ever have a lifetime warranty against any livestock. Our heavy-duty line, they're made out of a 2-inch Schedule 80 pipe frame and 1 5/8 14-gauge rails, and they're going to weigh around 150 pounds. We're very confident in the way they're built, the material they're built out of. We're very confident in our employees that put these things together. And, man, there's nothing more frustrating than going buying a competitor's panel and setting up your pins and having a bull try to jump out of it and tear 3 or 4 panels, and there you are having to go buy 3 or 4 more. When ours, man, you bring that panel back, show us where they try to jump through to jump over, and if it's damaged by any livestock beyond use, let us know, man. We replace it, no questions asked.
Now, you offer financing, too.
We go through a company called Sweet Pay Financing. It's been a very handy tool.
You're at the Lomita location. Give us your phone number for the Lomita location.
Lomita location, we can be reached at area code 512-752-3200.
And the website?
www.dubospanels.com.
Neighbor, now it's time for today's edition of Around the Caprock with Amarillo's James Hunt. James, what's your topic?
Making the case for sorghum. I'm James Hunt with Around the Caprock on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. With Texas High Plains farmers mulling over how to divide up their acres for the next growing season, sorghum versus cotton is a major consideration. Looking at the economics, sorghum prices are pretty good at the present time, whereas
the cotton price, at least right now, is not like just real favorable, and the input cost on cotton is a lot higher than it is on sorghum. And so I think those are 2 big reasons to consider grain sorghum or even a silage sorghum or forage sorghum.
That's Brent Bean with the Sorghum Checkoff, who says beyond the economic comparisons, there can be an agronomic benefit for cotton farmers if they switch to sorghum in the coming season.
I think something that's important to remember is those cotton crops almost always do better following sorghum compared to, say, continuous cotton. And so say you do go to sorghum this year, I think you're probably enhancing your chances for a better yield on cotton the following year.
Now, going back to economic considerations, Dr. Bean says sorghum farmers who are near an ethanol plant could see some opportunities.
That is something I think people probably ought to look at, because it's my understanding there's going to be some pretty good prices offered by the ethanol plants. In fact, we're making some plans to have a couple of grower meetings at Plainview and Hereford in January to talk about that very thing.
And when dates and times for those meetings get firmed up, we'll pass that information along to you. Speaking of meetings, several extension events are coming up right after the holidays, including the Llano Estacado Cotton Conference January 5th in Muleshoe, the Southern Mesa Ag Conference in La Mesa, also on January 5th, and the West Plains Crops Conference in Levelland on January 6th. Call your local extension office for more details. I'm James Hunt on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
I'm Larry Marble, and I'm on the line with Aaron Lee from Homestead and Ranch Real Estate. Aaron, why do we need a realtor that specializes in farms, ranches, and vacant land?
Well, Larry, large acreage and vacant land transactions are not the same as residential transactions. There are aspects to negotiations, restrictions, utilities, contracts, marketing, title work, and much more that require expert guidance, something you'll get from a Homestead and Ranch Real Estate agent.
How is it different with y'all?
The agents with Homestead and Ranch Real Estate are rural home and land specialists. Through our continued market research, experience, and our classic approach to customer service, we keep up with prices in an ever-changing market.
How can we get a hold of you?
Well, y'all can reach me directly at 214-985-9862, and I give you my word, I'll call you back. Or you can visit us at www.homesteadandranch.com.
Aaron, thanks for being on Down on the Farm.
Thanks, sir.
Neighbor, let's take a long look at the grains, courtesy of John Tuggle & Company, Corpus, 361-852-5207. Milo through Corpus in December, March plus 90, $13.43. Progresso, March plus $1, $13.61. Yellow corn to Corpus in December, March plus $2, $8.62 and a quarter. We'll call Progresso, March plus $2.20, $8.82 and a quarter. Hard red winter wheat to Houston in December, March plus 130, $9.94. And number 1 beans to Houston in December, Jan less 25, $14.56. 22,105 bale of Texas cotton moved yesterday, 19,179 of West Texas, 2,926 of East Texas. Prices range from $85.55 to $80.05, with the average looks like about $82.80. Neighbor, that's it for the best darn farm show in 100,000 square miles of the great state of Texas. No brag, just fact. I am Larry Marble, and you are my neighbor. Neighbor, have a grand day.